What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 21st edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOMO. When you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks, you'll receive one free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have a 13-game MLB slate tonight. No weather issues to be concerned with, doesn't look like. So that's nice to keep in mind. And as usual, we're going to take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top three stacks. Number three, the St. Louis Cardinals are only projected for 4% ownership. They have a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack, 2% chance of being the top value stack. Fantastic matchup against Chichi Gonzalez tonight. Gonzalez, going back to the start of last year, has only struck out 12.5% of hitters with a 4.98 xFIP. The Cardinals have the second best WRC plus in baseball at 120, have a 161 ISO as well, and they offer a nice mix of value and just really high upside bats like Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. Number two, the Atlanta Braves taking on Anthony DeSclafani tonight in Atlanta, projected for 5% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack, only a 1% chance of being the top value stack. DeSclafani has a 3.93 xFIP and a 20.6% strikeout percentage this year. Overall, he's typically a solid pitcher, but this is his return from the injured list, so there is a little bit more volatility than usual. And also, Atlanta's just a very high upside offense. They lead the league with a 205 ISO, 117 WRC plus. They're always a team that I'm willing to target at low ownership, and that increases when you get a potentially volatile matchup against someone like DeSclafani returning from the injured list. And number one, the Baltimore Orioles taking on Eric Fetty. The Orioles are projected for 6% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 6% chance of being the top value stack. The Orioles active roster has a 100 WRC plus and a 153 ISO this season. Fetty has only struck out 18.3% of hitters with a 4.52 xFIP to date this season. Now looking at the top three tournament pitchers, number three, Kevin Gausman, $10,200 price tag. Difficult matchup against the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox started off the year slowly offensively, but they have returned to form. They were expected to be a good offensive team, and they're now up to a 109 WRC plus on their active roster. Only a 19.3% strikeout percentage as well. In addition, Gausman has been struggling recently, both with strikeouts and results, but overall this year, still a 26.1% strikeout percentage and a 2.83 xFIP for Gausman. He's only projected for 4% ownership, with a 5% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. Number two, Spencer Strider is $8,700, taking on the San Francisco Giants. Strider is projected for 10% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 4% chance of being the top value pitcher. He leads the slate with a 38.6% strikeout percentage. He also has a 2.6 xFIP so far this year. The matchup is relatively difficult as the Giants have a 113 WRC plus and only a 21.4% strikeout percentage on their active roster. But Strider is one of the lower owned high upside pitchers on tonight's slate. And number one, Dylan Cease, $9,600 in a difficult matchup against the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto has a 112 WRC plus and a 20.6% strikeout percentage on their active roster, but Cease has the second highest strikeout percentage on the slate at 32.9%. He also has a 3.06 xFIP so far this season. He's pulling less ownership than pitchers like Sean Manaea, Nestor Cortez, those two, I guess I should say. Manaea and Cortez that are in better matchups, but are also getting more ownership. Cease has a higher strikeout percentage than both of those guys and is getting less ownership, so he does make sense in tournaments. So to recap, the top three tournament stacks: number three, the St. Louis Cardinals; number two, the Atlanta Braves; and number one, the Baltimore Orioles. And the top three tournament pitchers: number three, Kevin Gausman; number two, Spencer Strider; and number one, Dylan Cease.